team ebook over physical book. Y'all can fight me if y'all want, but that's just what it is. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Gabby. Nice to meet ya. So a couple months ago, I went out on a whim and bought a Kindle with the sole purpose of trying to attempt to read more in 2024. So I decided to come on here and share with y'all my process on, did the Kindle really help me read more, and was it actually worth it to get a Kindle? It's been 3 months and we are going to get into it. So for y'all who don't know, I bought the Kindle Basic, the 2022 model. If y'all want to know more about the specs and mostly all of the things on why I chose to get the Basic over the Paperwhite, I did a lot of that coverage in my last video, and if y'all want to watch it, I will link it down in the description below. So if you are somebody who is thinking about getting a Kindle, or if you are somebody who is like me, who just wants to jump into reading more, and you are wondering to yourself, was getting the Kindle or will it be worth it? I can honestly tell you that for me, yes, it was worth it. Like I said, my sole purpose of getting the Kindle in the first place was just because I wanted to read more books. And did I read more books? Yes, I did. I have read more books in the past 3 months than I have in the last 3 years, I would say. Right now, as we speak to this day, I have read about 14 books. Yes, real books. And that's pretty good considering that my original goal was just to read at least 1 book a month, and I have already read 14. So I have already hit my Goodreads goal. I am so proud of me. Yes, cheer for me. I am so proud of me. So why is that? Why all of a sudden I get the Kindle and I'm just automatically, you know, a real reader? My working theory is that I just never liked big books in general. Why? Because I think they intimidate me. It's just the fact that I look at a book sometimes and I just start thinking about how long it's gonna take me to read it, and just it gets to the point where I don't even want to read it anymore. And I just think the convenience and the size of the Kindle just makes it so much easier for me to want to read. Like, I do a lot of my reading at night, I do a lot of my reading in bed, and I just think it is just so comfortable that I can just lay on my side, it's lit up, I don't have to worry about turning any lights on or anything, and I could just sit there, put my Lofi Hip Hop on the TV, and just sit and curl up and read my book. Another main reason that I got this Kindle, the Kindle Basic, over the Kindle Paperwhite was because of the size and the weight. It is so lightweight. It is such a good size. I am the type of person where I don't really like huge devices. I have an iPhone 13 Pro, so I don't really like big devices. When I saw this, a big deciding factor between getting this one or the Paperwhite was the size and the weight factor. And this is so small, it's so compact, it's easy to carry around. I can put it in my Lululemon bag, any size bag, and just go. This is just easy to carry around. It's so portable. I really just have no reason not to read on the go or read anywhere I want. My second favorite thing about the Kindle would be the ability to change the size of the font. Now, another reason why I don't like reading physical books sometimes is that the font can be so small and it can be so close together that when I sit there, I'm just looking at it, and the closeness and the many words on the page, again, it makes me just not want to read it anymore. And nothing's wrong with my eyes. I don't think I have like ADHD, which I don't know, but something about the words just being so small on the page, I can't do it. I don't know if it's my attention span or if it's just, I don't know what it is, but just the ability to sit down and adjust the the font size on here just makes reading so much easier. Now, I'm not somebody who reads like at a 10 or 12, but I definitely read at a 6 or a 7, which I think is, if you're a Kindle girly, you know, I read at a 6 or a 7, which is not that bad, but still, it's the ability to just change the size of the words that just makes the reading experience a little more enjoyable for me. My third favorite feature about the Kindle is just the Kindle screen itself. The screen actually looks like paper. And at first I was kind of skeptical because everybody's like, oh, it looks like paper, it looks like paper. But you know, until you really see something yourself, you might not even believe it, but it really does look like paper, which really does make it easier on your eyes. But it's not just the screen looking like paper, it's also the way the lights and the lighting of the Kindle happens. The way that I can describe it is the fact that on your phone is backlit. So that means that the light is coming directly towards your eyes. But on the Kindle, it's lit around the sides. So that means that the light is like shining inward on the Kindle versus coming outward to your eyes, which also cuts back on eye strain and just makes it easier to look at the Kindle screen for longer periods of time than it would be if you were, for example, I have the Kindle app on my phone as well. It's just a different reading experience when you read on your phone versus when I actually do read on my Kindle. My next favorite feature about the Kindle is that it tells you how much time is left in the chapters. So that allows me to read accordingly because I hate I hate stopping in the middle of chapters. I don't know, something in me just doesn't like to do it. It just feels like I'm leaving something undone or something like that. So like example, I say I read a lot before I go to sleep. So I can plan accordingly, you know, if I get to a chapter and it says, you know, how much time is left in the chapter, and I can basically be like, yeah, I got that amount of time, or I might not want to start this chapter because I might not be able to finish it. I have the ability to make that decision versus like if I was in a physical book, I would have to flip to the end of the chapter, see how many pages I have left, and then come back and see if I can try to read it before the time. It's too much. It's too much. I like that feature a lot. And it also tells you how much percentage you have left in the book. So then I turn into Fast and Furious and I decide I'm gonna beat the time and I'm gonna try and read as much as I can. And the last thing that I like about the Kindle is the battery life. Now, I will say this, in the beginning, I felt like the battery would drain very quickly. I felt that way and I almost sent it back. I'm not even gonna lie, I almost sent it back and they almost had to send me another one because I was like, this battery is draining too quickly, because they say that the Kindle is supposed to have a 6-week battery life, at least on the Kindle Basic. I think on the Paperwhite it's much longer, but on the Basic it's supposed to have a 6-week battery life. But they failed to tell you that that 6-week battery life is contingent on reading 30 minutes a day for 6 weeks. So, which means you would have to read only 30 minutes a day in order for this to actually last 6 weeks. But eventually, the Kindle can last a very long time, and I was surprised because I can go at least a couple of weeks without charging it, and I read almost every night and it still has a good charge. That is actually very impressive, but when you think about it, it makes sense because you don't really do anything on here but read, so there's really nothing that would really drain your battery life. So it's gonna last a long time, and I was actually impressed that it does last a long time. And I was actually surprised when it almost died on me. I was like, wait a minute, oh yeah, I do have to charge this. It's an electronic. Now, the negatives surrounding the Kindle. My only negative is, I would say that sometimes it seems a little laggy. Like the refresh rate on this thing is not the same refresh rate that you would have on a phone. So sometimes when you're like turning the page on the Kindle, or if you're like trying to scroll up or down, it can seem a little laggy, but it's not like too egregious that I would be like, oh, this is completely horrible and is completely taking me out of the experience. It responds pretty well, it responds fast, but if you are somebody who gets it, that's just one thing that you would be like, what's wrong with this thing? It's because the refresh rate isn't as fast as it would be on a phone. But that's my only negative about this. The pros definitely outweigh the cons, and if you are somebody who is sitting there and thinking about getting a Kindle, I would say that's the only negative thing that you would have to look out for. Now we're gonna get into Kindle Unlimited. So at the time when I bought my Kindle, I got Kindle Unlimited free for 3 months. And I think they do that because it is their way of giving you a little taste of it, and then they're gonna hook you in to pay that $11.99 a month, which I'm here to tell y'all they got me. They got me. My free trial was up earlier this month and I put it on my card. I said, go ahead and take my money because I have read a majority of my books from Kindle Unlimited. Also, I want to note that you do not have to have a Prime membership in order to get Kindle Unlimited. It is its own separate subscription. It is completely separate from your Prime member account, because that is a common question that some people do ask, is like, oh, do I have to have Amazon Prime in order to get Kindle Unlimited? No, you do not have to. You can get Kindle Unlimited and just pay for that subscription without being a Amazon Prime member. Kindle Unlimited offers thousands of books. They offer a lot of books. Their selection is pretty good. I primarily read romance and psychological thrillers. So for me, they have a good selection of those things. I've read a lot of authors that I wanted to read. There are a lot of books on there that are on my TBR that I have lined up to read, because I read one book at a time. I'm sorry, I'm not on that 6-book reading yet. I read one at a time. So they have a big option. However, I feel like if you are somebody who primarily reads nonfiction, they might not have as many of those type of books, but I'm not sure. I guess it depends on what kind of nonfiction you are into, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes you might be looking for a book to be on Kindle Unlimited and it's not on Kindle Unlimited that day, but then a couple of weeks later it might be on Kindle Unlimited. So you kind of have to pick your spots and figure out when the best time may be to get that book on Kindle Unlimited. But I definitely think that Kindle Unlimited is worth it. Like I said, they definitely got me. They roped me in. They got me. Like I said, once your free trial is up, then you can either opt to pay the $11.99 per month, or you can opt to not pay the $11.99 a month. But you do get Kindle Unlimited. I definitely do think that it is worth putting on on your card. But if you do not want to pay for Kindle Unlimited, there are some other options that you do have. The first one I would say is that you can just buy books straight on the Kindle from, I think, from Amazon. Yes, it's an Amazon device. So you can buy books straight on to your Kindle. And what I will say is that if you do have a Kindle, typically the books are at a discounted price on the Kindle. So for example, you could want to buy a book and the normal paperback costs like $10.99, but if you go to buy it on the Kindle, it might cost like $3.99. I guess it just depends on the author and what they decide to price the books, but typically it is a significant markdown on the Kindle than it is if you actually chose to just go and buy the book flat out from somewhere. Or you can get something called Libby, which also comes straight to your Kindle, which is basically, if you have a library card, you can go log into that through Libby on your Kindle, and you can borrow books from whatever library your library card is linked to. Now, the only downside to that is that your library may not have the book that you want, and also, like the traditional sense of you go to the library and you check out a book and then you get it, if you try to go and check out a book, you might not be able to get it because libraries only release a certain amount of copies at a time. So you might have to wait for the book that you want. Even if they say that they have it, you might still have to wait in order to technically, quote unquote, check it out, even though it's coming straight to your Kindle. For a short period of time, when I knew my subscription to Kindle Unlimited was coming to an end, I contemplated whether I wanted to go through Libby and go and get a library card and stuff like that, but I just opted to get Kindle Unlimited because convenience always wins for me. I'm just like, convenience always wins, and I just can't take if I go through all this and the library doesn't have the book, or it doesn't have the ebook, or it doesn't have the audio book. I don't know. With this, it seems more of a guarantee versus, you know, playing a guessing game and waiting game. I'm too impatient. That's to sum it up. I'm too impatient. Overall, I am really happy that I bought the Kindle. Like I said, I am reading a lot more. Reading has become less intimidating for me, less stressful, less of a chore. I feel like I'm actually enjoying reading now. I am more excited to read than I ever was before. And I also think that it's a combination of also getting into things like BookTok and book Instagram and all that other stuff. It's fun. It's a fun little hobby, little activity to be on here, and it's like when you have your favorite shows and then you get online and you see what everybody's saying about your favorite show. That's how I feel after I read a book and I go online to see what everybody else is saying. But if you want to know more about what I am reading, I will link my Goodreads down in the description below. You can see what books I have read, what books are on my TBR, and maybe you can get some inspiration about where to start on your book journey, because I promise you there is something out there for everyone, and it is really fun. It's really fun. I wish I would have jumped in to this whole thing a lot sooner. I'm definitely team ebook over physical book. Y'all can fight me if y'all want, but that's just what it is. But a nasty habit that I have fallen into is that I will read the book on the Kindle and then I will go and purchase the physical book like it is a trophy. It will not go away, but that's just something that I have gotten into. But overall, I am really, really happy that I bought the Kindle. And also, I'm going to give y'all a close-up on my stickers because somebody asked me about them in my last video. So I will definitely give y'all a close-up on my stickers right now.
Perfect.
As always, I love you all so much for listening. Go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below. What are some books that you are reading? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!